Welcome back. We'll be reviewing the Punch. Who's ready?
Yes, so federal government states begin legal fireworks June 13th. So in the Punch, it says the Supreme Court on Thursday gave 36 state governors of the Federation 7 days to file their defense to the suit that's been brought against them by the federal government through the Attorney General of the Federation. And the court has also said that the filing of processes and exchanging of same must be completed within 9 days. So what are the charges or allegations brought to the court against states by the federal government? I'm going back to the nation to read it because it breaks it down in such a way that I think it will be easier to communicate. So it says, first, the federal government, on behalf of the federal government, the governors are being accused, among others, of arbitrarily running the local governments. It's also alleged that some governors run local government areas with appointed administrators as against elected officials, as prescribed by Constitution. The federal government is praying the apex court for an order prohibiting governors from unilateral, arbitrary, and unlawful dissolution of democratically elected leaders for local governments. It's asking the Supreme Court for an order permitting the funds standing in the credits of local governments to be directly channeled to them from the Federation account in line with the provisions of the Constitution as against the alleged unlawful joint accounts created by governors. It's asking for an order stopping governors from constituting caretakers to run the affairs of local governments as against the constitutionally recognized and guaranteed democratic system. Also, the federal government wants an order of injunction restraining the governors, their agents and privies from receiving, spending or tampering with funds released from the Federation account for the benefits of local governments when no democratically elected local government system is put in place in the state. And they are being sued through, their respective attorney generals and much more. I just felt I had to go back there because it breaks it down.
Give us the details.
Yeah. So that's what they're in court for. So in 9 days, we're going to hear, June 13th, we're going to hear the back and forth, federal government and state government.
Okay, so a 61-year-old man, Olalekan Ugumaki, lost his life after tires that pulled out from a moving truck crushed him to death in the Alaka area of Lagos State. That's the Surulere. Oh. They said he was attached to the office of the Lagos Waste Management Authority in Ijora, and he was heading to a location in the state when the tires from the truck the truck was still in motion, so 2 tires pulled out and rammed into him. So he fell lifeless. He had injuries. By the time they rushed him, passers-by rushed him to the hospital. They had confirmed he was dead. And they said, the truck driver did not stop. He continued. So some suspecting that he either knew what was happening and decided, or he was not aware because the vehicle was still in motion.
They usually have 2 tires.
Yes, the extra one. So he was, but investigations are ongoing. He's been deposited in the Rando Hospital mortuary. May his soul rest in peace. What other stories do we have?
Okay, so I have the 10 escape deaths, story building collapses on Lagos Island. It looks like that Lagos Island stories are, buildings are just collapsing anyhow. They said that same building was marked by Lagos State Building Control Agency for evacuation before it subsequently collapsed. So they said the incident occurred near the Oba of Lagos, Rilwanu Akiolu's Palace, Lagos Island at 11 a.m. yesterday. It was gathered that at the scene of the incident that the immediate cause of the incident was due to ongoing renovation being carried out on the residential building. They are still having renovations on that building that has been marked.
Ew.
Imagine.
We don't hear what.
Men of the Lagos State Emergency Management Authority, Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, Nigerian Police, among other emergency responders, rushed to the scene to save trapped victims. But they said that no fatality at all. Yeah, at least they were saved and rushed to the hospital. They just have small injuries here and there.
Thank God.
So, EFCC, another money issue. This particular one is one that I'm very familiar with. I was at a party, I think, last week, and I saw them carrying a bundle of money to spray. So this woman, and let me see.
After all the warning?
Yes, so she was found with 897,900 because they are. It's not like I want to spray money, but I asked, and they now said if I want to collect 20,000 naira, I will pay maybe like 30,000. Like
for that,
for a bundle of 20,000 naira.
Means notes now. They sell it.
naira. What kind of business is that one? So they've caught one of them, and she was arraigned.
You're happy.
Yeah, obviously, see her face.
She was arraigned in the Ikoyi court that as she pled guilty, she's only 76 months in prison. There are many of them, EFCC, they are looking. Just go to all these event centers. You will see them. You hold the body like this. I don't even know how
but
they
can they stop spraying?
We will be using invitation to enter hall. People that carry bottle of body will enter hall with money, and they are able to give. But they don't have a money box. You know,
like the churches, like what we do in church. Yeah, that's better. Just put your money there.
Like offering.
Yeah. Let's move on now to Vanguard. It's so funny. Major headline. Minimum wage. Labour may begin nationwide strike Monday if today's meeting to decide next line of action. Labour. Governors gang up stalling minimum wage negotiations, according to the story. LG autonomy, that's local government autonomy. Supreme Court gives governors 7 days to respond to government suit. I think we've taken that story. U.S. court finds Donald Trump guilty on all counts in historic criminal trial. I hope somebody has that. Rivers, court stops Amewule, 24 others from parading as speaker, lawmakers. Federal government inaugurates interministerial committee on review of intellectual property policy. GTI shows Tinubu Ribadu scaling up security, says ex-British diplomat. Biafra Day, 3 soldiers killed as sit-at-home turns bloody in the southeast. Calm as district heads pledge loyalty to Sanusi amid legal tussle. World Cup qualifiers blow for Eagles as Leverkusen star Teller opts out. What stories do we have in the Vanguard?
You want to hear about America?
Yes. Tell us.
Because we have our issues. I don't know if you want to
tell us about America.
So former United States President Donald Trump faces sentencing on July 11th. He was found guilty of falsifying business records to commit election fraud, and he was convicted yesterday. So he was the first former U.S. president to be convicted of criminal charges. Wow. They said the charges that were leveled against Trump, we have his involvement in a clandestine scheme to conceal hush money payments. So he had been in a relationship with a porn star, and in order to shut her up as the election for 2016 was coming up, he made a payment of $130,000 to her to ensure her silence. There are so many other things. They said that he was complicit in a scheme that involved a former publisher of the National Enquirer. It's what they call catch and kill. I mean, there are so many things.
Would it stop him from contesting the election?
So there's so many issues, right, that I'm happy for them that they're able to bring such a person and try him, and he's convicted.
Following the rule of law.
You know, because I don't know if that can ever happen in our own country.
We get there. We get there. We just started.
There are so many. But now we will now see if Americans are better than everybody else.
Like they claim.
Because is he still going to run for presidency? Is he still going to run for the elections? Are they going to let him with all these charges?
You can come from prison and go to the throne. Yes. Even the Bible days.
Okay, now. We continue.
Yes. What other stories do we have? The Vanguard?
Okay, so I have the story of the Kanu governor meets Ribadu Sanusi, makes his first appointment. So they said the Kano State Governor, Abba Yusuf, met with the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, at his office. The meeting, which lasted for more than an hour, was on issue of the dissolution of the 5 emirates by the State House of Assembly, and also the restoration of Muhammad Sanusi as the Emir of Kano. And again, you know, earlier, during when the crisis was hot, there was a time at the height of the crisis in Kano, the Deputy Governor, Aminu Gwarzo, had accused Ribadu of allegedly facilitating the return of the Ado Bayero, the dethroned Emir of Kano, to the palace by providing him with 2 private jets. And then Ribadu now threatened a lawsuit and demanded immediate public apology, which Gwarzo apologized, saying, we were misled. And that was what happened. So he now said that, okay, so the governor, Dawakin Tofa, said Yusuf met with the NSA and they both discussed state and national issues. The 2 political leaders deliberated on various matters relating to the state, national development, and peaceful coexistence of the nation during their discussion. So at least now there's peace restored into Kano. That's what's most important.
So let me take the major headline, still on the minimum wage talks. And they're saying that there are strong indications that organized labor may begin nationwide strike from Monday, June 3rd, over the minimum wage issue. So they've been having a meeting, and they said it was the second time the NLC representatives were walking out on the meeting because the federal government had not proposed something meaningful. So they went from 54,000 to 57,000 and finally added another 3,000, which is 60,000. So Labour was not having it, and they walked out of the meeting. However, they are going to be having another meeting today, and they are hoping that the federal government will be able to meet them somewhere. If not,
where's the somewhere?
I don't know. From 615, they came down to 490 something, I believe, and federal government is just adding 3,000. It's just sort of ridiculous, but I hope that they come to a conclusion so that we don't have another strike on our hands.
We can't afford strike right now. We can't afford strike in Nigeria.
Yes, I'm going to take the story of the Presidential Tax Committee has made a recommendation, which I think is laudable. They said that they've recommended that the custom exchange rate, so the custom import duty is actually being exchanged. The exchange rate is general exchange rate is between 900 to 1,700. They are saying that the best way to make it convenient for Nigerians to bring in things into the country is to peg custom duties at 800 naira. Some analysts have criticized the approach, noting that it is bad for business, that puts business planning in disarray, but according to them, they feel like because of the constant erratic behavior this year so far, custom has had to change the import duty over 40 times. So let's not be having those changes happen anymore. Let's peg at 800 for the rest of the year. But that might also mean, what if Naira now appreciates into like 700? Will we now still keep it at 800? But Mr. Taiwo Yedele was saying that this is the right direction, that if people can plan without having to suddenly, in 24 hours, have the price change, better for business, according to him. I'm really expecting a whole lot from Mr. Taiwo Yedele's committee, because when we interviewed him, we felt like he was a competent person. Whatever policy he proposes should be allowed to fly through. Let us see how it works, because economy is not economy at the moment. So
honestly, especially this particular story, I'm a bit disappointed because I bring in machines. So for a long time now, I've not brought in machines because I can't bring in machines and start changing prices.
Right?
Yes, I start changing prices. So
my sister is well. Quickly, the last paper for today, Nigerian Tribune. We'll just take the stories we haven't taken. So I have court declares 25 pro-Wike lawmakers seat vacant. I don't know if somebody has that. 4 soldiers feared killed as gunmen enforced sit at home in Abia. I think we should take that.
Yeah, I took at least 4 soldiers were killed on Thursday. Gunmen suspected to be members of the Eastern Security Network attacked soldiers in Aba, the commercial hub of Abia State. They said that these hoodlums were about 15. They attacked soldiers about 8 a.m. at the military checkpoint in Obikabia junction in the commercial city. The gunmen were said to be enforcing a sit-at-home order that had been declared by Ipob across the southeast to mark Biafra Day. This is something that they celebrate annually. So a witness who identified, I'm not going to say the witness name, but it says that they were identified that they were hoodlums, they were wearing masks, they stormed the junction and opened fire on soldiers.
Oh, God.
4 of the soldiers were killed immediately. He said that he noticed that there was another soldier that had sustained injuries, but from the way he looked, he does not even think he would survive it. He says other innocent passers-by too were affected. Some of them, got hit by this gunshot. There have been video clips apparently going around on social media showing the attack as it happens. This is horrible. This is horrible. The military is being attacked yet again by Nigerians. So
how long do they
Thank you, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we move on to our top stories for today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.